everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Michael Huber.
Hello.
Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
Brandon Jones.
Hello.
And in the other room, Ian Hink.
Hi.
Hey, ooh.
Whoa. Late night.
I got this close-up mic so I can sound all sassy.
You sound very sassy. It is the beginning of the podcast. Time to play Pro Strats Only, please. Jones,
Okay.
don't cringe. I think I got a good one for you. Hi, allies. I'm almost through disc one of, I'm almost through disc one of Possum Punch 3, and I'm currently attempting to cross Otterville River. Should I try to sneak onto Rocky's riverboat cruise, or just attempt to ford the river? Pro Strats Only, please. Asbo Zap.
I don't know. I actually don't know this one.
You really don't know?
Believe it or not, I don't know.
Are you like...
No, I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I finally don't know. I have no idea.
Do you know? Bud, do you know what to do?
I got stuck at that point and I just went back to playing Smash Brothers.
Whoa, Hubert, do you know what to do?
I have no idea.
Ian, do you know what to do?
Say that. What's the name of the game? What is it?
Possum Punch 3.
Possum. I don't think I've ever even heard of that game.
Whoa, I think I nailed it this week.
I think you did, Kyle. Okay, according to IGN, sneak onto Rocky's riverboat cruise.
Cool, there it is. I think we finally crushed the segment.
I'm proud of you, Kyle.
Thank you, because the comments
by
have been,
checking IGN.
the comments have been so mean. Well, naturally, yeah.
I mean,
their guides are very good.
Isn't that what this podcast is anyway?
Yeah, just checking IGN. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Welcome to IGN, reacting to IGN with Easy Allies. Begin corrections music, please. Oh, okay, so we talked about Metro Exodus running on Unreal last week. Obviously it doesn't. It has, 4A has their own engine called 4A Engine. I think someone was just talking hypothetically in the comments. If it hypothetically was on Unreal Engine, it would get a reduced cost on the Unreal Game Store. It certainly does not, but we still believe that deal was sweetened. Oh, another correction. Samus does have a weird fusion body at the end of Metroid Fusion. I was right all along. And then these chumps show up in the comments like, nope, she's back to normal. Her colors are back to normal. Her fusion suit is yellow and orange, but it's still like globby and weird. And it's not confirmed whether or not she has Metroid DNA still inside of her. I believe she does. It's up to debate. We did not deserve
I
that
gotta finish
correction.
that game again.
Yeah,
I haven't played it since it came out, basically.
Let's do it. The Atari 7800 was backwards compatible with the 2600, but not the 5200.
Nice.
Yeah, Atari, stop it.
Exclusive.
XDK stood for Xbox Development Kit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, Blood, that was in reference to the listing they had for GDC. You going to that? Are you going to see that one? It was about Xbox Live going across other platforms.
Oh. So they're doing a panel on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't set my schedule yet. I booked my first appointment today, but I haven't.
Are you allowed to say what you booked?
I don't know.
Okay, let's play it safe. We'll play it safe.
I don't even know what it is. Oh, I'm excited.
It's not a huge game, but it's an interesting game.
Okay, cool. Side games. Oh, we talked about Dragalia Lost. I said it bombed. Didn't bomb. It did below expectations. That's what I had seen. But that's not a bomb. You can do below expectations and still be pretty successful.
I played it
You played Dragalia Lost?
for like 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Jones, thanks for giving it a shot, dude. Give us one more take on it.
I think that's easily a game I could get obsessed with. My mobile time is slim to nil right now, so I'm really focused on I think Star Wars and Twitter are like the only two apps I ever have text messages. Maybe the other one mail.
Yeah.
Those 4 apps are like pretty much my mobile experience right now, but still on my phone and still something that I don't know if you need to be online. That's a big sell because Star Wars you do have to. So like whenever I'm on a plane, if I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, that's when I go back to Plants vs. Zombies or my Futurama game or something like, all my offline games.
Futurama game.
Game of Drones.
That's great.
What is
Match 4, I think. But
Really?
very funny, actually. Very very self-aware as a dumb mobile game. Kind of
Okay,
like the
cool.
Family Guy or The Simpsons, like Tapped Out.
Sure.
It's very much like, give us money, we're shills kind of like attitude the whole time.
Okay.
It's fun.
NHN didn't develop Terra. They were, simply published it. Still, I think it's remarkable for a publisher to publish 4 MMOs in 5 years. That's still pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And corrections music, please. Whew. So, let me get this out of the way. First up, you might be expecting, as somebody listening to this podcast on a Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday or Monday, that we'd be talking about the Nintendo Direct that happened Wednesday morning.
All right. Yeah.
I got bad news. We record on Tuesday afternoons. We haven't seen that Nintendo Direct yet. There will be live reactions. There will be an early edition of Friend Code. So there will be enough talking about that in between the distance of this week and next week's podcast.
Kyle Bossman, that's
Yeah.
a hard thing tomorrow for me to fit into my schedule. Should I do it?
Yeah, man. These are special.
You know what?
Especially
I saw that and was like, wow, I'm missing that. And then the more I think about it, it's like, oh no, they're gonna if we get AC News on that and
Yeah.
I'm not there.
It's like 35 minutes, they said, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty special, Jones.
Okay.
Of course, we're saying this in hindsight.
Yeah.
The people who are listening are laughing at one of us.
Well,
Yeah.
coming to this place makes me very happy, so
Yeah.
it'll work out.
What is a benefit of recording on Tuesday afternoons is that we have the freshest access to the news about Activision firing 800 people. Woo! So we got to talk about this in a weird way. I don't want to talk about it for too long because obviously lots of corporations restructure and, fire and rehire and, let go. I should not use the word fire. They are different terms. I think if you
Very
like,
different terms. I got corrected.
Legally, it's a
Very.
huge.
After we
difference.
left Defy, I got corrected all the time.
Yeah.
When I would say get fired, people are like, you weren't fired, you were let go.
George Jetson gets fired. He does something wrong.
Okay.
He gets fired.
I don't have that clear of a
Jetson!
memory of
You're
the
let
Jetsons.
go. Just like I would like it more like that. Just-
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, this just happened between the recordings of our Tabletop Escapades episode and now. So I gotta say, I'm basically just going off of Kotaku's headlines and what's on Reset Era and just trying to collect these things together. But so you hear Activision firing 800 people. That's the headline. That's the tweets. That's what gets spread around, right? But obviously, we have to dig a little deeper than that. They had their earnings call today, and so these are tied together, obviously. Activision had their best quarter of all time. That just ended. It was still, despite that fact, beneath expectations. Looking forward at 2019, they had to lower their expectations, looking forward at what they have to release. Obviously, no Destiny this year. And so to do that, they had to let go 800 people.
8% of their workforce was the way they put it. Yeah.
Thank you. And so Kotaku did some math that they had 9,600 employees in 2018. So yeah, if you kind of subtract 8% of that.
And they also said that it was mostly not development roles. It was mostly support roles. So like people that do like the Blizzard blogs and video production and things like that. So
yeah, thanks, Bud.
very likely people that we know.
I want to go into a direct quote of that actually. This was part of their earnings call, but obviously Activision doesn't put out the script of that. So thank you to twinfinite.net for transcribing this. They're going to deprioritize initiatives that are not meeting expectations and reduce certain non-development and administrative related costs across the business. And so, right, as Blood just said, most of those 800 people are not, I guess, developers. In fact, they said they're going to hire more people into the development of this means the cumulative number of developers working on Call of Duty, Candy Crush, Overwatch, Warcraft, Hearthstone, Diablo is going to increase 20%. So there's huge firing, 8%, but in terms of developers, they're increasing hirings 20%. So I wonder, panel, when we have a headline like that, obviously it sucks to be let go. Obviously we care about any employee. What you believe the effect of this will be?
Oh, gosh. I mean, well, obviously, what Activision wants the effect to be is that they get another game or two out and, continue working on, whatever, like, Diablo spinoffs and stuff that they want to do.
Yeah. It sounds like they're not going to do a new IP soon, right?
Right.
Yeah. Sekiro is not mentioned in that list. I don't know if Sekiro is going to be a huge tentpole for them. Obviously, they try stuff, but it's very clear where their money makers are. Hearthstone, even. That's crazy to me.
Still kicking.
Still kicking.
Oh, yeah.
Still making money, apparently.
People still cracking packs.
And they want more money out of it. Yeah, I always have a hard time with earnings calls and trying to analyze how the stock changes afterward, because I don't feel like it has an incredible impact on the things that we'll talk about for the rest of the year. You know, like, I don't know. I don't know if Activision yesterday is too different from Activision tomorrow. No job is unimportant. But I guess the story is their restructuring, what they're focusing on. And it's something we've been hearing for about a year, is that they just want to make more games. They want more games to come out faster. And I think to facilitate that, they had to go into non-development branches of their business.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because I know like a lot of these things are done for the sake of what the stock market and stuff is going to do.
Right.
But it's really crappy to go out there and, simultaneously say that, hey, we've had the best year in Activision history and we're just going to lay off a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm. It was best year instead of best quarter. It was like, well, I guess both, right? So, yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't connect to laymen, people who just read IGN art headlines and talk about it on a podcast, right? So, yeah, it's always hard for me to, parse this out, the meaning of it. But yeah, I don't know. It's worth bringing up, I guess. It's Activision's problem. They lost Destiny. Bobby Kotick apparently in the Q&A section of the earnings call said that was below expectations, which they had said publicly before even. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like they're happy to shed Destiny, but it seems like Activision has less and less to focus on every year, and that's just going to continue.
Yeah, it's like there's just no story really around this. Like I kept like trying to drum up like other things that it reminds me of, and I have both of these. I apologize if they're not connected very well, but like Epic focusing on Fortnite and letting go of Paragon. Like I don't know if jobs were lost. I'm sure a lot of people creatively were frustrated because they're like, okay, I was actually way more excited about Paragon than I am about Fortnite. Maybe they've grown to love it, but the slow trickle away of the 3DS and more focusing on the Switch. It's like, I don't know if people are going to change, development, goals for the next couple of years, or, technological goals, or that they had more ideas about fun things they could do with the 3DS. Like, okay, now it's time to move on to these other consoles. Sucks for 3DS fans, sucks for Paragon fans, but at least you can see where we're going, and we kind of thought it was in this direction. And all the things that you just said, Kyle, from my knowledge, were just stuff that Activision was saying, but it doesn't really frame a exciting or easily digestible narrative as far as where the company's going, Right. And I think that's the thing mainly that's just like feels so weird today. It just kind of leaves this like empty feeling in my gut where it's just like, is this good? I mean, obviously these companies need to make money, and it's like, but is there any kind of, as a consumer, as people who talk about games, is there any reason I should be excited today? Beyond just like, we're going to make more games. It's like, make more, what are the, there's this new IPs, we have no idea.
It's like, why is Diablo on that list? Yeah. That
right.
feels so
especially
weird.
The weird BlizzCon, like it's just a lot of weird things going on. This doesn't necessarily address that. And so it's not only transparency, it's like transparency that actually frames a personal, exciting narrative for the company, and that's like just not there for me right now.
Yeah, Huber.
Let's get conspiracy theorist, because I know you like to, Kyle.
I do. I love this.
You love it.
Give me a conspiracy theory.
So I feel like Blizzard now has been kind of on the downhill. You look at BlizzCon with the Diablo announcement and the backlash.
Yep.
You look at World of Warcraft's dwindling numbers, and they stopped reporting how many people are playing.
Even after their new expansion last year?
Yeah, they don't release the numbers of players.
Got you.
And then they just canceled like Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, that was
outright.
a big deal. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been doing a lot of like this to me seems like damage control, and they need to pivot in a completely different direction, maybe with a new is a new IP out of the question. I could see that honestly happening at this point. StarCraft 2 is not really anything anymore because it wrapped up. Like there's obviously still a pro scene and StarCraft 2 is going on, but I feel like a lot of these games are kind of stagnating.
So your conspiracy theory is that there's a new IP coming.
A new IP or something like really shocking from them, like a new StarCraft or Diablo 4 a lot sooner than later.
If you had behind door number 1 or door number 2, if door number 1 was a new IP, door number 2 was a drastic reinvention of one of the franchises, not only like style-wise or genre-wise, but like how financially it's structured. What do you want? You have to get one or the other.
I really want them to do something with Warcraft. Whether that is World of Warcraft 2, I know people are like, that's never going to happen. Like, Warcraft's going to go on for so long. Like, it's time. Let's get a new World of Warcraft or a new Warcraft proper. I know we're getting Reforged Warcraft 3. The hype around that. So I don't.
And the old servers or the old vanilla classic.
And classic vanilla, yeah. So
It's funny
something new and shocking and crazy.
I think we're going to see a lot of that second door that Jones just described. The reformatting to make more money. Like this is perhaps too cynical, but whatever Diablo we're talking about here, I think will be designed around monetization.
Of course.
And, gameplay second almost. Like I think like that's going to be the target of that game. It was just such a weird way. But like it's just, I think when we talk about games on this level, when we talk about corporations needing to make money off of video games, this is the level it gets to. It's not just indie developers making their games with their hearts. It's so weird though that these games end up being fun. Right. It's like, imagine like if we all were like excited to give BP oil our money. It's like, oh yeah, I love filling up the tank. But we do. We love video games. And it's Call of Duty's not bad. Right? It's fun to play. And so it's the weirdest.
Think about Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man sparks joy for me. Like thinking about just this year he had and like how true to that character, how fun it must have been for them to think up their own versions of all of those characters. Like what a great job Yuri did. Like there's just so much happiness. We just got the Fantastic Four costumes. Like there's just so much about that. You're just like, yay! Like I'm so proud of the work that Insomniac did. It's so exciting that they got this IP to just really do what they want. You know how many deals had to go down for that to happen? Do you know how many like people in suits that don't play video games at all had to like meet to go through jump through all those hoops and everything, and all that needs to happen to bring you that joy, like to give these people, to build this playground for them to, swing on.
Yeah.
But
the movie costume
for
man,
some reason,
in particular,
but for some reason, it's just there's a way to do it where you have the suits to make the deals, but then on the front facing side of that, the developer side, the community side, it's fun. It's fun.
It's a video game.
And this is not fun. Like this Activision thing is not fun for Blizzard fans.
Blizzard used to give me that feeling annually. There was always something coming out of Blizzard, and like when Overwatch came out, a new IP. Whoa, Hearthstone was like this cool new thing when it came out. Like wrapping up StarCraft and new World of Warcraft expansions.
Yeah, they had good momentum for a while. It's weird to look at that in hindsight.
They had a lot of momentum, and now in the last couple of years, it's just been stale because a lot of these games have been out for so long. Like World of Warcraft and Diablo 3 and StarCraft 2. These are old video games.
Classic Blizzard might be completely unsustainable. Like it is it's like a theme park. It's a dream come true to have this company that's so faithful to each of their franchises, and every time a new one comes out, it's just better than the last. And like, yeah, there definitely was like a dream era. And if it's unsustainable, that's fine. But again, like figure out a way to communicate your future for Blizzard that sounds exciting.
It's not unsustainable. It was the biggest year in Activision history.
Yeah.
That's
by whatever terms.
Again,
it's a bad narrative. It's like that. They're strictly going by the books to try to explain this to your audience, and it's like your audience cannot see your books. Doesn't frankly care about your books. Like they care about the next Warcraft. They care about what's going on with Diablo right now. They care about, is this the last StarCraft game I'll ever play in my life? Like that's what they care about. And they're willing to let those things go, like Metroid Prime. Like if I have to, just let me know what you're doing. And just being like, we want to make more games. It's like,
yeah,
more mobile games. What does that mean?
It's tough, man. And it's funny. I see. Go ahead.
Sorry, and to let like 800 people go. Granted, that number's way bigger when you factor in how many people that affects. Each person losing their job. Whether they have families and friends and stuff. So just so many people affected by this.
Yeah.
Like, tell us why. Tell us more.
Why they did.
Kind of. It feels very like PR ambiguous. Yeah, we're gonna make more games. Like, give us a little more. Like these people's lives have been hugely affected.
You want to know what went wrong, why they're under expectations.
Yeah, like don't be so vague with it.
I mean, it's not too. I mean, like, I think they're as a business, from what investors want to hear, they are being as open as they would be expected to be.
Yeah, Huber, going through, the Viacom to Defy layoffs and then Defy to Easy Allies layoffs, being internally, as close to the flame as I was, like, it was apparent to me both times, like, it's just not, in any business, it's not the way you do it. You cut so fast and just boom, the bomb drops and then you move on. You don't talk about it. Like, that sucks, but that just seems universal. Yeah.
It's not
whether entertainment or otherwise.
Yeah, generally don't like talking about it. But hey, it seemed like a big hit. It was a headline. Like, we have Capcom earnings that are great news, but like, we don't really talk about them on the podcast generally because I don't know how it translates. I don't know how interesting it is. But I think the firings became a headline today, and I wanted to put them in context.
Yeah. I mean, I think as much as it sucks to talk about and as much as people don't want attention to be put on them for losing their jobs, like, today's their day. You know what I mean? Like, this is the day that companies should be like, we're hiring, like, people should support them and talk about them and be like, I'm not in your position. Maybe I've never been in your position, but like, I'm sympathetic to it. That sucks. I love Blizzard. I love the games. I still support all of you, including people that stick around. Sucks for them too. Cause it's just like, it's like surviving a plane crash. You're just like, why me?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I still around? And now my friend's gone. And
yeah. Should we talk about CEO salaries, or is that like a third level of being
That's a
irrelevant?
whole different conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not prepared for that conversation.
Okay. Great. All right.
Ill-equipped.
Hogue will have an hour and a half episode.
Yeah.
We'll get to podcast after.
I don't know who I just saw. Some CEO made like $46 million or something. I was like, what the hell?
But I don't think, the thing is, Huber, I don't think any CEO makes $43. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have a lot in stock and tied up in those things. And you're not just depositing.
And that's something they
46.
said too, that like they actually laid out like what kind of severance package everyone's going to get, and it sounded pretty good. It sounds like people are going to be taken care of at least. So that I think that is like
which
a
again
positive.
Is more than you need to do. Just judge by
Very cool.
those guidelines of just.
I didn't know that, but that's good.
Yeah, the analogy I think is just like in football. Maybe baseball too. Just a value of a player rises dramatically each time a new person gets a new contract. And I think that's just how CEOs work. Like, a CEO's value just rises based off of what that last guy got paid. And so it's just that kind of thing where it's just like, if you want somebody who's good at this job, you have to pay a ridiculous amount of money. And that's just how the stupid world
keeps
works.
escalating.
Yeah. Oof. That said, good luck to Antonio Brown pulling for you. Let's talk more about CEOs. That's fun, right? Just real quick, Sony Interactive Entertainment has a new CEO. It's Jim Ryan, who was previously president of Sony Interactive Entertainment of Europe. So he's been promoted to that position. That position, we had John Codera move into that position. I feel like it was just last year. It was extremely recently. John Codera will now be moved down. Let's just say move down. To me, it's definitely it's a down. Will be responsible for. Let me get that title. He's going to be deputy president of Interactive Entertainment, but will be leading the. Okay, let me just get his words here. This is what John Codera said in the press release. I will continue to support Jim by contributing to further strengthening user engagement and to the overall growth of the PlayStation business. I also aim to leverage my experience and accumulated expertise to contribute to strengthening the Sony Group's DX digital transformation strategy. And so basically what Sony said in their press release in promoting Jim Ryan and demoting Codera, the person who previously had that position, they want Codera to focus on PSN. PSN is a huge part of their business. It's a hugely profitable part of their business. Gaming and network is the most profitable arm of Sony currently. Hasn't always been, it might not always be, but they're investing heavily into this, and they want Codera to head that part of it. And then apparently Sony as a whole, Sony wants to learn from PSN. Like, what is PSN doing so right? And then move that onto other Sony products. And then, they have Columbia. They make movies too. So it's like they have Crackle. So yeah, there is a lot, I think, for Sony to learn from PSN. And I think that's part of what this is about. It's hard for me, again, to extrapolate headlines, certainties out of this. But that's what happened this week.
Man, I hope that's not I hope that's not their takeaway, that PSN is perfect and great and awesome because it's our most profitable thing. It's like, it's slow and clunky and bad. Don't start modeling other things after it. Fix it. and then you know what I
Sure.
mean. It's like successful because it's the only option. I feel like people overlook that kind of thing.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And it's better than Nintendo.
Not even anymore, really.
It probably still is. Yeah, it is.
The Switch store, it's like on par with the Switch store, maybe.
You
It's
need a
slower.
mobile app to talk to people on Switch. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I never do that, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what the probably the unspoken narrative about this is, because one of the things that happens when somebody gets promoted, and if that affects different people different ways, right? And so sometimes when somebody gets promoted, they just find out that like a lot of the work of this new job is not what they want to do.
Sure.
And at some point, maybe he just looked at this and like, this isn't really what I want to focus on. This isn't where my strengths are. I'd rather do something else. And like this guy over here, I think, would be a better fit for this position, and I can hone in, on making this other thing better.
Yeah. We don't know a lot about Jim Ryan. I've seen him do
Yeah.
many press conferences. Gamescom. He'll be the guy who does those. Yeah, I don't know what'll change, right? I have no idea what impact Jim Ryan will have on Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Time will tell.
Time will tell, if at all. I don't know. Will time tell? Can we say
know.
that was a Jim Ryan move? I don't know.
Maybe
dude.
not. Maybe
Yeah,
nothing.
I don't know.
I don't know. So yeah, it's a weird story to try to tell, but these are headlines. These are things that are worth bringing up.
Yeah.
This is This Week in Video Games.
Absolutely.
Minus the Nintendo Direct.
He sounds like his name is like a character Tom Cruise would play.
Kodera?
Right.
Jack
No.
Ryan, you mean?
Oh,
Jim
Jim Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah. It's because
Jack
it sounds like
Reacher?
Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Jack
Jack
Reacher.
different ones.
And then there is Ryan.
He's
the clear
Oblivion.
and present
and
danger
Jack
guy.
and
or whatever.
Oblivion.
I don't know. They're all the same guy.
I feel like Tom Cruise is a Jack and Chris Pine is a Jim. I can see Chris Pine being Jim Ryan.
Sure.
Well, I mean, he's Star
he's
Trek.
Jim
That's where you get
Kirk.
the Jim.
Yeah.
There it is. I didn't even think of that.
This is too much for me.
That's what the segment needed, though.
Yes.
There's your button, Kyle.
So the great button. I knew those were probably going to be my two headlines last night as I'm putting this podcast together, and I said I need something evergreen. I need to talk about something that will still be interesting a week later. We get a lot of people watch this podcast Sunday and Monday. I want to give you something that's not old news, old crusties.
What do we got?
So Hubert, I was thinking about Kingdom Hearts 3. Dude.
Okay. All right.
It's already out.
Yeah.
And I want to have a brief conversation about Kingdom Hearts 3, not spoilers, but
Yeah.
what it is, what it means, what its place in this broader video game realm is. Because I think it's unique. It's got something. I want to talk about it with Jones, who doesn't care about it. I want to talk about it with Bloodworth, who doesn't care about it. You know what I mean? These two people don't care about Kingdom Hearts 3 for a reason.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So my way into this, Vince Zampella wrote an update to everybody about Apex Legends, which, as of Monday night, more than 25 million players have jumped into the game. And over the weekend, we had well over 2 million concurrent players at our
Wow.
peak. Like I said, what a week. Vince Zampella, you earned it. You can talk like that.
Yeah.
And I actually really like that, president of this,
Respawn?
Respawn is writing these messages.
Might as well
Yeah.
cancel Jedi Fallen Order. Apex Legends is the
Gosh.
future.
Disney will talk about how happy they are about it, too.
Fallen Order is future of storytelling, dude. They're gonna hit us on both angles,
It's going to be epic.
and whatever that weird other Titanfall game coming out this year is going to be. So to give us perspective on that, Resident Evil 2, a week after launching, said, "Hey, 3 million." Kingdom Hearts 3, a week after, "Hey, 5 million." And then I look at Vince Zampella, and I'm like, "You're not even close, buds."
Right?
Obviously, those are two $60 games, right? But it's hard for me to tell how popular they are. It's hard for me to tell if those are it's not hard. Kingdom Hearts 3, 5 mil shipping, sure, that's a huge success in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big.
That's big.
This fast, that's big numbers.
Okay, so I have
It's
three.
not like Mario Kart or Battle Royale numbers,
Right.
but in the video game landscape, that is huge.
I think so. I truly, truly think so. So I have 3 questions for the panel. I want to get through these 3 questions. Number 1, is Kingdom Hearts 3 cool? Is it cool?
There's a lot of things that are cool. It's cool to love Kingdom Hearts. It's cool to hate Kingdom Hearts.
Tell me, Jones.
It's cool to be confused by Kingdom Hearts. It's cool to understand
You know
Kingdom
what?
Hearts.
It is cool to be confused. If you write a tweet, I'm confused. You just have yourself 100 likes at least. Is it? But I truly wonder if it's cool or not.
The art's cool. The designs are cool. There's so many different things you can do with all of those characters and into all sorts of crazy situations. There's a lot. It's a very easily marketable franchise.
I feel like
I think
you're
that's
being
why
nice.
it was like the idea.
Jones, I feel like you're being
it's
nice right
How
now.
much can we market? And they brought in a whole third element I wasn't even expecting, which is, and that's the thing that ultimately always leaves my head scratching. When they're like, so let me get this straight. We have the entirety of the Disneyland library and all of the Final Fantasy franchise. We're gonna need some more characters. It's like that's what amazes me. That like at the end of the day, people aren't. I mean, just from the outside looking in, like
That's what I want, yes.
People aren't signing up to Kingdom Hearts 3 to be like, I want to know, what Goofy has to say about the situation, or just like, I'm really concerned, how Squall is going to fit into this. Like, it's Sora, it's Xehanort, it's these central characters. I want to see how their story is going to end.
Yes.
And that's crazy, considering it was an idea that originally was pure marketing gold.
Jones, I heard all the words you just said, but I still get the feeling you don't think this game is cool.
It's not for me. I mean,
Why
just,
not?
I mean, that
Is it the character designs? Is it the
No,
the
it's
premise?
just it's a weird. To me, it's like I'm strange in a lot of ways when it comes to like tone and like messaging and like the purpose is a bad word for it, but just kind of like what a game is trying to achieve. And there's so many things that people naturally would think. I grew up with, just infatuated, still am with Disneyland. I was there this past weekend. Like, I love Disney so much, and I love being around Disney things. And people are like, well, why aren't you into this? And it's just this weird kind of like, I'm there for the Disney
Jones,
stuff.
I'm sorry, I have to take this. It's Gordo.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hey, Gordo. Oh. What's it called? That is better. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, all right, thanks. Listen, see you later. Continue your thought, Jones? You were talking about whether you think it's cool or not?
That seems somber. What did Gordo have to say?
Oh, Netflix just greenlit their own video game advice show.
What's it called?
Pro strats only, por favor.
Oh.
That is better.
So Gordo says we gotta cancel Pro strats only.
I mean,
please.
yeah, obviously.
It sucks because we just got it
Sorry,
right.
Kyle. Yeah,
It sucks because Jones, we just got
I know.
there. I thought you'd be mad at me for the next 10 weeks.
It took us like a month and a half to get there, but we did
I
it.
only got to do like 2 or 3.
I know.
Better than the opposite, though. Better, it's good that we ended on an upswing.
You're right.
On a
You're
positive
right.
note.
Because now people will miss it.
Right.
So yeah, I guess like by next week I gotta come up with a new segment. So
You're good at that. I believe in you.
You're the segment master.
it's gonna
Easy.
There's the segment master.
Yeah. I love every segment you've ever done, Kyle.
Yes.
I like.
Sometimes
It's
we
like
have
an
to
anime
cultivate
character.
them.
He's got segments in his coat.
Yes. Press strats only, please.
Worst comes to worst, we could just make a segment of making segments. Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll take it.
Such an
It's
Ian
Easy Out
answer.
Podcast. Time to
Yes.
make a segment.
Okay, Jones, you're like a bunny, okay? Each game in front of you is a carrot. Go. It's just like
Kyle, you know what's crazy is that maybe it's just my personal Twitter feed because that's my like perception of what's going on.
yeah.
But the way my Twitter was going with Resident Evil 2 made it seem like the entire industry stopped to play Resident Evil 2.
Yes, I think you're on a good point here.
Not getting that with Kingdom Hearts 3,
Yeah.
but it sold almost double of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
They were
Like
just-
I see people
yeah.
playing Kingdom Hearts
Because I think one is cool and I think the other isn't cool.
like Resident Evil 2 was for a
Yes.
week. It was every single person talking about Resident Evil 2. Everyone.
Yes.
I think there's a spoiler quotient, though. Like, way more spoilers coming from Kingdom Hearts 3.
True,
Yeah.
true. I stopped myself with
Yeah,
everything. I didn't want to tweet everything. You're
all
so
of those
right.
conversations happened in a back alley with people wearing fedoras,
You're so right.
extinguishing cigarettes. So like, you got to the ending,
True. True.
Also, isn't that number shipped, not sold for Kingdom Hearts? So it could be the same.
Ship
sold.
for both, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Got it. Very few do sold in. I think Sony likes to talk about sold in,
Yeah.
and Nintendo has to, but yeah. Sold through.
Yeah.
Sold through. Sold in is shipped.
Crazy to see the end of Kingdom Hearts, Game of Thrones,
Star Wars.
Star Wars, and Avengers all in the same year.
2019, baby.
It
Jones,
is.
if you think this is the end of Star Wars,
Well, no, the end of that trilogy.
The
Sure.
saga.
Sorry.
The arc.
Yeah.
Also, not the end of Marvel. Also,
Oh, yeah, it's not
also
really-
not the end of Game of Thrones by a
arcs.
mile.
yeah.
Or Kingdom Hearts, isn't this just the end of the
Sure,
story?
yeah. But I mean the end of an arc.
You're right. We have
The end of an era.
We're seeing some good arcs.
Yeah.
We're getting to a
Yeah.
bunch of pots of gold at the ends of these rainbows. Do y'all hear that? Sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of February. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. And now, that good business lawyer has a new YouTube series. Like Help Us Out Hogue, Virtual Legality is all about Hogue discussing the news of the day in the law and business of video games. Kyle Bossman calls it well-researched and comprehensive, much unlike the Easy Allies podcast. Check out Virtual Legality at youtube.com/HOEG Law. Mango. Children's Miracle Network. More than 10 million kids enter a children's hospital across North America every year. To provide the best care for kids, children's hospitals rely on donations and community support. Since 1983, Children's Miracle Network hospitals have helped fill those fundraising gaps by raising more than $5 billion, most of it $1 at a time. Its various fundraising partners and programs support the nonprofit's mission to save and improve the lives of as many children as possible. The link to donate is in the description. Sweet Justice, a sound design company from the southern shores of the UK. They've worked on some of the biggest AAA titles, the most refreshing indie titles, and collaborated with the best development teams in the world. iKeyless.com is now Car Keys Express. Check them out at carkeysexpress.com/store. They continue to offer replacement car keys for less than the dealership and remain proud sponsors of Easy Allies. Use coupon code EZA at checkout for free shipping and 10% off of your order. Beaten Down Brian. L. Thanis. D-Magnet, a VR puzzle adventure developed by Bitcake Studio. Use your magnetic-powered gloves to solve puzzles and make your way to the top of a mysterious underground cavern. D-Magnet presents a variety of original magnetism mechanics that evolve as you find out more about what's happening around you. Coming later in 2019 to major VR platforms. Get more info at dmagnet.com or check out our Steam store page and add it to your wish list. And our mega sponsor, FantasyCritic.games. Fantasy Critic is a new site where video games meets fantasy football. Grab your friends, create a league, and face off as you predict what the year's top-rated video games will be. Just like fantasy football, you'll hold a draft and stock your roster with the hottest up-and-coming titles. At the end of the year, the player with the best lineup of games based on review scores courtesy of OpenCritic.com will be crowned the winner. Think you know what games will come out on top? Head to FantasyCritic.games now and play for free forever. Also, check out Twitter and subreddit to follow news about upcoming features. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors.
Children's Miracle Network is also not our official sponsor, but someone chose to give them a shout out with their sponsorship money of Easy Allies. And
Shout out.
thank you to them.
I have another question about Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm playing through this game. Again,
I didn't get to finish my point.
Oh, do you want to?
It's just rudely interrupted.
Tied into this one. Questions 1 and 2 are closely related, I'll say.
All right.
Okay, so we're having a spoiler-free conversation here. I really don't know where Kingdom Hearts 3 stands in the larger realm of video games. Mm-hmm. Bloodworth, I'm going to make you handle this one. I'm playing this game, and I wonder myself, is this game dumb?
Whoa.
Is Kingdom Hearts 3 dumb?
Are we that desperate for viewership of this podcast?
Jones, it's like a legitimate question,
Okay,
dude.
all right.
I'm not willing to
It's not.
put a stake in the ground on
It's
that
not.
without having played the game.
It's
Come on.
not, because under everything, Kyle, is
Yeah.
so much heart. It
Yeah.
is so
It works.
Because
much.
it's so
Craftsmanship.
sincere,
so
man. Oh,
sincere.
Yes.
It is so sincere. All the storylines, dude, about like beating your inner darkness, not giving up on your friends, just it's epic.
Ocean of emotion.
Ocean of emotion. It's so good.
Okay.
I love that.
Jones,
stuff.
what was the point you wanted to make about it being cool?
They get some of the official voice actors and they don't get others.
Yeah.
It's stupid things like that.
So it is dumb.
Jeez. You know, like, they never really came up with a concrete reason why Final Fantasy and Disney specifically. You know, it's like, whereas it seems like a
It's
missed
not Final
opportunity.
Fantasy anymore. There's not any Final Fantasy.
It was
You're,
in the
you're
elevator.
making my case for me, Blood. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that I have dumb expectations, and when those aren't met, personally, I opt out. I'm like, okay, that's not that interesting to me.
Do you want to
kind
know
of like a direct to DVD VHS, like Jungle Book 2? It's like, no, I'm fine. Like, just seems kind of like that. It's like,
You
yeah, but
don't-
you love Disney. It's like, yeah, but this isn't the thing.
But you don't want to explore Andy's room? You just don't want it?
Shoot, I don't want to enough.
Okay.
In the
Fair answer.
with that,
Fair
yeah,
answer.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you
But
want
sure, it looks jolly as heck, and then, I went to the preview demo at Judges Week and loved what I played. I had a great time. I did explore Andy's room, so there.
You're good.
Yeah. Jones, do you want to know the nitty gritty about the voice actor stuff?
I mean, there's all sorts of reasons why you can't get the original people.
Dude, they got
Right.
Some of those original people aren't alive anymore. There's.
But a lot of them, so basically they get first right of refusal, basically, with their contracts. So they ask everybody, hey, do you want to do this video game? And then you have the right to say yes or no to it.
So do you think they asked Tim Allen and
Yeah.
Tom
Tim
Hanks.
Allen gets asked.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
And
Tom
Hanks
says,
probably was
give it to my
like,
bro.
"No."
He's going to love this. That's true. His brother does all the toys and...
I do like relationships when they don't know people. Like I know a guy who does John Rhys Davies, all of his roles, like Gimli and Sala from Indy. Like every time those pop up, they go get this guy. And like he's never met John Rhys Davies, but John Rhys Davies knows he exists. He's like, oh, just give it to that guy.
You're right.
Just bring him
Obviously
in. I
knows-
can't do this again. I'm busy Thursday. I'm like, all right. So I love that. Your voice doppelganger just following you around.
Jones, you have a run for that guy's money.
No.
Yeah.
It's a whole no.
I swear I just heard a Rhys Davies at the table.
Is it Rhys Davies? It's not Rhys Davies, right? Rhys Davies.
I think it's Reese.
Ian? We need a fact check.
I'll figure that out, I guess.
Wait, what is your guess, though?
I've always heard John Rhys Davies.
Reese. Okay.
Like, right. It's kind of Rice. in
Jonathan
between.
Rhys Meyers?
Rice?
Is that
Or Rise.
different
I always
people?
heard Rise. My
They're like
boy.
several people. What?
Okay.
Who am I
We're all
looking
wrong.
for?
Yeah.
What's the name I'm looking for?
Jonathan Rhys
Yeah.
Davies.
That's how I think it is.
Okay. I heard you say,
Cue
Ian,
corrections music?
I heard you say Rice.
It's both, baby. It's like a quantum superposition.
Reese.
All right. Since that question was offensive, I have my last Kingdom Hearts 3 question.
Okay.
Is Kingdom Hearts 3 timeless?
Yes and no.
Did it just come out? Will we still be talking about it at the end of this month, at the end of this year, 2 years from now? Did this game have the impact that it should have had as a game that took so long to develop and publish?
You had me until that last question. I can't. It's the same with Bloodworth. I haven't played it. I haven't played the other ones.
But Jones,
certainly Dream Drop Distance seems
You
like
can
has
spot a game that's going to be
huge
around. You
lead
can
up.
spot a game that we're going to be talking about for a while. You know when the game makes an impact.
Yeah.
Did Kingdom Hearts 3 in particular, this
Oh
game,
yeah.
has it made an impact?
Oh yeah. There's nothing like it. There's absolutely nothing at all like this franchise before or after ever. It's crazy thing that happened.
So even as you, who you won't touch it, you're not going to play through this game.
I'm happy it came out.
You're still saying these
Stoked
things.
it came out.
Why?
I can't believe it. Because I'm happy that people. There's nothing like when you say culmination, as much as you overuse that word, Huber, it's everything, man.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. Like as much as I love Elizabeth Shue and Back to the Future 2 and 3, sucks for that first Jennifer. There's always those hang-ups that just stick around for me where I'm like, it's hard for me to totally get into.
How many mountains
as
are
much as
there?
I love Prisoner of Azkaban, it's like, oh, new Dumbledore, damn. So there's just dumb things. I wish I could. I wish I could just see right through it and just move on. It's like never mind. That was a spoiler. I almost spoiled something, but I didn't.
Ooh, nice, Jones.
Because I thought an actor was going to come back in a movie and they didn't. I was
Oh,
like,
man. New Dumbledore is so funny to me, Jones.
it's like nobody's fault. You can't. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
But it's still like I get hung up on it personally, just for me, for me.
That was clearly
It's one of my
just,
dung
yeah,
hang-ups.
yeah. Man, that's funny. Bloodworth, is this game timeless?
I have no idea.
We have an update from Ian. You have some time to think about it, Bloodworth, while we hear how to pronounce Jonathan Blank Davis's name.
Davies.
Davies, yeah. In English, it's Reese, like fleece. In Welsh, there is no English equivalent.
Yeah,
There
Welsh
we
is
go.
great. Welsh is such a fun language.
We can't pronounce it correctly,
Reese, Jonathan Reese.
apparently.
Okay. Why,
Yeah.
is he Welsh?
I don't know, but the name is Welsh or South Wales. Yeah, so Welsh. And
Reese.
there's no English equivalent of I with a line through it.
It's like,
Or it might be pin, like riz.
I think it's like Jonathan Davies.
Yeah.
Like you can't make it with your mouth, but it's like if you rub your wrists together the right way.
Like a cricket. But
Yeah, the
It's like
noise comes
it's like
out.
an old Eldritch language. You know, like human beings cannot pronounce that.
Yes. Bloodworth. Now you have time. You've had ample time to think of your answer. Is
Nothing
Kingdom
like
Hearts
putting
3
blood on the spot.
timeless? Is it timeless?
sure.
Is Kingdom Hearts 1 timeless?
No,
What?
because of tech. It's a
Okay.
really janky game. It does not hold up.
Even the HD versions of it?
Even the HD version
Is Kingdom Hearts 2 timeless?
more timeless than 1, I suppose. The thing is though, when it's a hard question. You can't really say yes or no because games are really dependent on technology, and again, Kingdom Hearts 1 doesn't really hold up in that sense. But when I think of Kingdom Hearts, I'm thinking about the story. I'm thinking
Yes.
about all the connections I made, all the adventures we went on. Like I'm thinking about all of that.
You're thinking of simple and clean.
Yeah, and to me personally, that is timeless.
Yeah.
Huber, I'm a little surprised in you that you are confident enough in current technology to think that Kingdom Hearts 3 won't look in 15 years the way Kingdom Hearts 1 looks now.
It probably will. But again, I'm just thinking about the story. You know, technology can only last for so long. Like,
Yeah.
depending on the game. Obviously, Mario is timeless because it's just perfect. You know, you're going through. It's just
Breath of the Wild's timeless. I think Breath of the Wild will leave an impact for many years to come.
I think Kingdom Hearts 3, one thing that it does that is cool is that it changes the artistic style depending on the world you're in, kind of a
Yeah.
little bit to match the movies,
Sure.
which I think is cool. It's a cool way to do it. So
Yeah.
maybe it would, because artistic choices, big choices are what keeps games looking good forever, right?
That is 100% true. Mario Odyssey mixes those up a lot too, and I think it's always going to look good. Yeah, it's just really the core of this conversation and why I wanted to spark it is I guess I'm afraid of this game coming and going. I see that happen a lot. You know, just it's on Redbox and it's not on Redbox.
Yeah.
We just consume things so quickly. We chew them up, digest them, poop them, and then we move on. We
On
don't
to
even
the
look.
next.
We just lower that silver handle and never think about it again.
talking
And
about DLC already. What's
Yes.
next on the list?
What's
Let's get
next?
some
What's
DLC.
next? Yeah, and so a game that is an accomplishment like this, I want you to tell me that it's going to stick around. I want you to tell me that people will still feel this game and still play this game.
Something that made me happy that I've talked about before, so I'll say
Yeah.
it very briefly. I put off Legacy of the Void forever, the last little bit of StarCraft 2. And Huber really liked it, scored it really heavily, and then it just left my brain. And then it was like a year or two later, and I'm like, I got to finish that. And just actually made the time one weekend to finish it. And it resonated as much as it would have in that moment as it would have if I'd played it at launch. I was crying. I was just like, it's so good, the story. So yeah, I think it's still, and Kingdom Hearts is kind of about timelessness. As someone who hasn't played anything other than 2 or Chains of Memories,
I love your perspective
Can
on this,
guess,
Jones. Yeah.
But like there is a lot about doing scenes over and over again, being in these weird voids where it's hard to realize how much time is passing, or seeing Sora age. Obviously has its own resonance there. So.
I would love to read Jones's script for Kingdom Hearts.
The movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I think he would nail it. I think it would be like surprisingly accurate, surprisingly touching, and it's like, wow, this is really true to the source material.
It's kind of.
You have a strange for not playing any of them.
Yeah.
An incredible understanding.
Uneasy Alliance, Kefka, and Maleficent Jones. Would you write that in there?
Sure. Did Kefka ever make an appearance in Kingdom Hearts?
No, but like you can.
Well,
you're-
Maleficent did. She's huge. She's a
Yeah.
big, especially
Oh,
the
yeah.
earlier ones, right? Like,
You
she's
have
a
the
big-
reins, man. Go
Yeah.
nuts.
Would you get Kefka in there? Because I know you love 6.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd like have dialogue, but like I do. I'll tell you this.
Too nervous about the voice actor.
No, the biggest one. If I had like my own free reign with Kingdom Hearts, I would create a context for why Final Fantasy, why Disney. Like there would be a moment where not only would you go to each of these worlds, you'd see a kind of a fissure in the realm of reality. To like maybe there would be a point where like you look into that world of Final Fantasy and see thousands of people and be like, who are all those people? Where it's like you can get a sense. Oh, there's a reason that they, you actually go to Disney worlds, but Final Fantasy characters just pop up in these brand new worlds. I thought that was just kind of done in the service of the design of the game and not because like it means something.
Yes.
So I'd explore that a little bit more.
Okay. Hey.
He's got to lose a bet. We'll have him write it.
No, that's
Jones,
such a huge
Jones has to write a 90-page
No,
script.
no.
Yes.
Jones also has to say yes to that bet,
Yes.
which will never
Like,
happen.
maybe
so.
an
Just a
outline?
little, yeah,
Just an outline.
Like a couple pages.
Yeah, page and a half outline.
Yeah. Page and a half outline.
Treatment.
Yeah.
A treatment.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Wait, isn't it treatment? You read the script and then you just that's your summary of it?
That's another kind of treatment, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
think, yeah. A treatment is just
Hollywood.
the summary of the events. And you can do a treatment before to pitch it after, whatever.
Okay. Hollywood tips from Easy Eyes. It's now time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
Jones, you want to be put on the spot one more time?
Please.
Okay. Normally I don't take questions like this, but I thought, this might be interesting to the broader audience of Easy Eyes podcast. Hey, Allies, question for Jones. Have you had voice training, or is it pure natural talent? Love and respect, Steve Miller.
I think pure natural talent's like 10% of it, maybe. But yeah, I've have done a ton of musical theater, been on stage, had to project and speak to large audiences. So like when I talk like this, I'm actually pulling back. Like I can speak much louder, and I'm used to speaking much louder, and that was really difficult getting into film school and stuff. They were like much less, less volume, less facial expressions.
I think I need to take that class.
You're doing way too much. Yeah, so you can't really regulate. It's also you also when you're in a chorus, you can hear the difference between your voice and their voice, and so you're like, oh, wait, I'm louder than them. I gotta drop down. So it's just like I'm doing that. But I actually did take vocal training, not for speech, but for singing for like 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
And I took piano earlier, so like that also led into an understanding of. Not like note reading. I can't like give you a B flat, but like if I hear a tune, I can usually sing it pretty easily.
Yeah, that doesn't like come up. Has that affected how good you are at reading reviews?
No, reading reviews was its own new skill that I was horrible at the first one I did, and got better at from actually doing
God
it.
of War 1, check it out. Game trailers.
The original God of War. Yeah.
Origins.
Yeah.
I did do a read for our Brothers in
Jones
Arms, which
Origins.
technically was our first review, but it was scrapped because I was out of town.
I would say it like you're not as developed when you're reading those early reviews, but you still got confidence, man. And I bet that came from your theater experience. You
Sure.
You're doing this VO, and you
Yeah.
like it's not your best work. Obviously, you developed it and you got good over the course of reviews, but you're not like nervous.
Yeah. Well, I'm enjoying it too. I think that's like a lot also how our shows work, that we try to do as much setup beforehand so that when like tonight, we're going to be, streaming Apex Legends and we want to get all the consoles figured out beforehand. So when we're actually on camera, we're not really, figuring anything out.
Yeah.
We're just having fun. But like that takes work before. And if you're not enjoying it during the process, then like people probably won't enjoy watching you do it.
Cool.
So it's tough to like enjoy something and not develop an ego at the same time, not be like, I'm really great, just like,
You
no, I'm
are
just
really
having
great.
fun. Well, for
You're
anything,
great.
it's like
Yeah.
you're good at hosting a podcast, but it's just, you don't want to,
Yep.
you don't think about that too much while you're doing it.
Exactly. Thanks, Jones. Thanks for humoring us. I won't ask you a personal question on the podcast for another while.
Also, too, if you've gotten a Brandon question in before and Kyle didn't pick it, $1, patreon.com, Cup of Jones, every week. I take questions just like that, so.
I can pay $1 and ask you any question I want.
I have yet to not read a question on Cup of Jones.
Okay. Well, don't push it.
Scares me to say that.
Yeah,
it's not a challenge.
Don't
but
make that the game. Yeah,
Wait,
just
don't be that
I
person.
thought there's ones that you just kind of put a heart next to and move on.
Because I've either answered it before but there's not one that somebody wants to know like something personal about me, and I'm like, hey, that's
Okay.
And the
I read the question, but then say I'm not going to answer that part of it just for personal
And the
reasons.
symbol's a heart. I like that it's not an X, Jones. Let us play a follow-up game. Good day, allies. Back in 2016, fellow ally Doug submitted a game to Love and Respect called No More Sevens. With his permission, it's time once again. Sevens no longer exist. It's up to you to decide if these famous swimmers in the pool of sevens float on by with an 8, standing the test of time, or sink with a 6, lost into the abyss.
I love with permission.
I missed this one.
And so the way this game works is we could all say make it an 8, right? We could all be really positive, love and respect. That's not right. That's not a game. So each of you gets 3 8s.
Ooh.
We have a long list here.
How many on the list?
It's a long list. It looks like almost 20.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yes.
3 out of 20?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good
Well,
segment.
I'm gonna be
It's a good
honest.
segment.
I'm just
It's
gonna be
9
honest, dude. If I
between
think
us.
it's an 8, I'm gonna say an 8.
You're going to burn all of them, though. And then we're going to get at the end, and you will not be able to make that game an 8.
Does Kyle get
Kyle
any, or
rules.
is it just us?
I don't get one. Ian, do you want some 8s?
Yeah.
All right, so Ian gets 3 8s.
Okay.
Great.
So that's
8s?
12.
And 8.
4 8s. Why does that always happen?
Too small pair.
Actually, I think if it is 20, if the list is 20 and we have 9, that's too many. That's too many saves. No, that feels right. We'll go half and half.
Well, because we're not going to plan it out.
Okay.
Four of us might all give 8s to the same game.
No, we're going.
Can we just all be on the same team and come to an agreement on a game by game?
I don't think you'll be able to do that. I don't think you'll be able to agree which games to make 8s.
I agree with you guys all the time.
I think we're
Do
ready.
we hear them all first, or
No, we go-
as
No, that's the
one
whole
by
thing.
one.
You gotta
Ah,
save
okay,
them. Yeah.
okay.
Because there's some good ones at the end, and you're like, oh, I should have saved my 8s.
Gotta have fear.
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Sync?
No, I'll 8 that.
Okay.
I have to. I played it way too much. I
can't
should
believe-
have reviewed that, but we didn't.
That's a quality game.
We never scored that. That was
these-
my bad.
these are-
I should have signed up for that review, and
That's
I
a
didn't.
quality title.
These are open critic scores, by the way. So, like, 72 was not our score. That's like, I can't believe that's a 72, by the way. I thought that game was beloved.
2?
Yeah.
That seems low.
It is low.
I'm pretty shocked.
It's officially an 8 now.
I'm pretty shocked.
Okay.
It's a good game.
The Saboteur.
Oh, baby. 8.
Oh,
Love
Okay.
it.
okay. All right.
Okay.
Love the Saboteur.
Quickly remind everybody what that is and why it deserves to be an 8.
Saboteur is a World War II open world game about the French resistance, and the more you resist, the more you progress, color gets brought back to the world. Just an awesome
Lots of stealth too, right?
lot of
A
stealth.
lot of subterfuge. And,
Yep.
Yeah. In my backlog for sure.
Is that EA?
super,
It's like Pleasantville, the shooter.
Yeah. Yeah.
super great. I love that game.
Yeah. EA is just trying stuff out. I like it. Heavy Rain.
No. That's fine.
no.
Let it.
Blood's
I'd be
thinking about it.
surprised. Come on, Blood.
Stroking his chin.
6, I guess.
They've
Yeah,
done so
okay.
much better
Because they
since.
keep
Come on.
doing better.
Yeah.
Heavy Rain is now a 6.
Yeah.
Prototype 2.
8. Prototype 2 is amazing. Sorry.
Really?
Okay, you got my back. I'll have your back on an 8.
Yep. Prototype
If you need an 8
2.
later, I'll save it for you.
Pure open world fun and shenanigans.
Yeah.
That game is awesome.
Yeah.
I also love this is not really a spoiler. I love when the character you play as in the first of a game becomes like a side character
Yeah.
or like another.
It's rare.
It's
Yeah.
rare.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
when that stuff
That's a
happens.
good use of that for
Yeah.
sure.
Prototype 2 is good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, Huber.
It builds on its the first game. It's better.
By the way, that one was a 77, so it was a high 7 anyway. Okay. Need for Speed Pro Street.
Ooh, this is not one that I got.
Yeah, I don't know this.
Yeah, let
What
it
is
go.
it? Do you know
Sounds
what
like
game
a
that was?
mobile one.
But it was I want to say it was around end of PS2, beginning of PS3 era. But yeah, I wasn't playing Need for Speed at that point.
Pro
so.
Street.
I've never even heard of this one.
Yeah.
I've played like every Need for Speed.
Sorry, bud, you're a 6 now. Dead Rising.
I think
3.
it has its fans, but yeah.
Yeah, let it go,
6.
Huber. Let
3
it go.
is a
Yeah,
6.
Let it go.
3 is a 6.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Should have probably already been a 6.
All right, we don't need to. We can just go on to the next game.
All right, to everybody keeping track, Ian still has 3, Bloodworth still has 3, Jones has 2 left, Huber has 1, 8 left.
It'd be great if Ian gave no 8s.
It's looking like.
I'd be proud of you, Ian. Stay the course.
Rayman Raving Rabbids.
8.
Oh!
What?
Immediate.
Bloodworth.
Really?
This
That is that game
It's a
was
pretty good
many
game.
a Thanksgiving.
It's
Like that
pretty
was a
good.
fun game to have with like families and people that don't usually play games. Yeah.
And I think Rabbids has worked out at the end of the day.
It has.
I think it actually is, like, dare I say, a beloved arm of Ubisoft. You know, like, they're keepers, fine. You know, they can stick around.
Mario with Raving Rabbids really, I feel like,
Man,
brought
if they
in a lot
survived
of-
that.
They gained some
They
status.
gained
You
a
know?
lot of status.
And it wasn't the kind of thing
Fans.
that, like, this is fun, but I mean, just because we like Mario, like, we're pretty funny in that game. You know, it's like, there's something there.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you know,
and it's one of those things too where I think like the sequels kind of felt like this is getting done to death at points, but I still think like the creativity and everything that went into that original game and just having fun with we got the Wii, what do we do with it? Like everything we can.
let's
you
be
know?
weird. Let's
Yeah.
go wild. And they picked the right sort of. They invented those characters, I guess, to make a weird minigame game, and that's why it worked.
Yeah.
Rayman is trying to escape from prison the whole time. I kind of like that narrative, but anyway, it's more about the rabbits. Lost Planet.
Oh, the original?
Yeah.
Probably a 6. I haven't
It's
played
the
it in
so
a
long.
while.
It's got to be outdated. The game
I
probably
missed that
feels
one,
very
too.
weird
It's
now
a
to play.
Capcom third-person shooter where you're in the snow and you like shoot globs off of basically
grappling
Starship
hook.
Trooper bugs.
You
been
take
a
damage in the
while.
cold. And,
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's going to a 6.
Sorry.
I feel bad about that one though.
Yeah. Destiny.
Destiny 1.
I mean,
I'm surprised that
we're
in the
like
sevens.
halfway through the list, right?
Yeah.
We
have a lot left.
do it. I'll do it.
You're giving that an 8?
I'll do it. I know a lot of people that were extremely passionate about that game and had a lot of really great memories from that.
And talking about timeless, that game did have an impact. Destiny 1 had an impact. So
we're not going to forget about that.
Easy to like snark on Destiny, but
Yeah.
Yep.
That
I'll do it.
feels
Boy, am I going to
good.
regret. I'm going to hang on to that last one real tight.
Yes.
If I gave it to you, definitely.
Far Cry Primal.
No.
6.
It's fine.
6,
Oh.
but Primal's cool.
It's cool.
Wii Sports.
Oh.
Its average is 76. It is not an 8. It is a swimming in 7.
Come on, Ian.
But
Come on, man.
like, here's the thing: the legacy of Wii Sports is great, but it's not like a great game.
Yeah,
It totally is.
Yes, it is.
Fine,
Yes, it is.
fine. I'll give it an 8.
All right.
Thank you.
Wii Sports gets an 8.
I'll throw it the.
What
It
in the
is.
world?
It is pretty much a definition of a 7 though, because there's some of those things that are great and that hold up, and then there are things that are like boxing. And like, oh
Yeah.
Yeah, boxing would be
Yeah.
painful today.
yeah.
Yeah. Boxing's never worked though, really. In motion.
Yes. Because you're not hitting a thing.
Yeah,
You're
like that
just swinging
Creed
it-
game
yes.
was
Yeah.
like, ooh, no.
Yeah. Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands.
Was that the PS3 360 one?
Oh.
Yes, but no.
The Nolan North one?
This is the one that was around the movie, right?
Oh.
It's not the cell shaded one?
No,
No,
it's
no,
after
no,
that.
no.
It's
Okay.
after
That was just Prince of Persia, right?
This one is
Yeah.
2010 PS3 360.
Where they like went back to the,
Oh,
to the old franchise
because
for just
Jake
a second.
Gyllenhaal, and they wanted to have a movie that kind of looks like the game. Got it.
No,
Game
no.
out of the movie.
Nobody's hanging on to that one.
Okay.
I just honestly missed it at that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like
Missed it then, miss it now.
Grid Autosport.
Yeah, I give that an 8. I might have already given it an 8 or higher.
Do you want to give that an 8?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Blood's down to
I
1
enjoyed
8
that
left. Mercenaries 2: World in Flames.
Oh,
I know, dude. It's only gonna get harder.
I miss this franchise.
yeah. I'll let it go because I loved Mercenaries 1 so much, and Mercenaries 2 was fine. It was prettier.
Sure.
I wasn't like as addicted to it as I was Mercenaries 1, and I think things like Just Cause, as many problems as I had with Just Cause 4, have picked up that mantle and moved on with it, and it's fine. You know,
Okay.
do not play Mercenaries 2. Play Just Cause 3.
Got it.
It's okay. Mercenaries 2 is a 6 now.
That feels bad.
Mercenaries 2 feels old. It's not. It doesn't. That does not age well.
That's what I like about this game. It's not like kill or live. It's like one becomes an 8 and one
Yeah,
becomes
yeah.
a 6. I really like this game.
I just know the end of that list is gonna be brutal. I'm just saving mine.
Stuntman Ignition.
6.
That's a sequel to Stuntman. That's-
6.
Yeah. Sorry, bud. You're a 6 now. Quantum Break. Oh no. Huber bait.
Did you reorder these?
No.
Wow.
I love Quantum Break. I'm afraid to give my last 8 to it though.
I got your back, Hubert.
Do you?
Yeah, if it's like Resident Evil Revelations or something, I got you. Don't
What
worry.
if Shadows of the Damned? I'm like saving my 8 for Shadows of the Damned. Can you just tell me if Shadows of the Damned is on the
7
I
list?
cannot tell you. I will not tell you what's left. I will not tell you what's left on the list.
All right, someone better make sure Shadows of the Damned is an 8. I will give Quantum Break an 8.
Okay.
I love it.
Huber is now out of 8s. Octodad, Dadliest Catch.
That is a fun game, but I don't
somehow-
have enough on it.
Somehow it being a 6 makes it like better.
Yeah, it's kind of a 6.
Yeah.
I can see it.
It's like more of an 8 as a 6.
Dying Light.
Huber.
To listeners, Huber is dismayed.
He is terribly vexed.
He's going to have to watch
Can't.
Dying
This
Light
hurts.
become a 6.
man.
There's
I
that
can't,
back.
man. People's faces look weird in that game. The engine looks
You
weird.
didn't play the enhanced edition, Jones. You reviewed the original, and the enhanced was way more improved.
Admittedly, I have no context on that. Yeah. I'm anticipating Dying Light 2. I'm excited what they're going to do with that in
Yeah.
a new gen. But
Yeah, right.
Oh no,
Looks
that
like
was
a-
this gen. That was why. I didn't think it looked good.
Oh,
Yeah.
the beginning of this gen, right? Yeah.
It hurts.
Evolve.
No.
That's a 3, baby.
Sorry.
Oh, 3 we're giving that one? All right. Yeah.
Whoa, okay. Again, it's just 8 or 6, man. We don't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to
I don't think anybody's saving Evolve.
cause undue
Kick
harm.
down.
Batman Telltale Season 1.
Dude, these hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh,
I'm out. I'm out. I'm
Nice.
sorry. I'm
Nice.
sorry. I had to.
Good.
I'm out.
Good.
That's, man, writing a Batman story I've never read before or experienced before and
Yeah.
enjoyed. Mm-hmm. You did it.
Honestly, yeah.
Good job.
It's still a little glitchy. Hard to say go play it, because you're going to be dealing with some crashes.
especially too because like they're not gonna
That
continue it.
Yeah.
that diner scene between Bruce and Selena was worth the whole thing. That was
man.
so great.
Yeah.
To be in charge of that. To specifically be Bruce and just stare at Selena and not respond.
Yeah.
And have her be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That was a,
Yeah.
a treat. I really, really like that.
Sparingly using the non-answer in
Yeah.
Telltale games is so satisfying.
I do.
More,
I
I
liked
think,
it,
than any
yeah.
other
Yeah.
Telltale game I played. Because I didn't know those characters as well. But I like, and it's like, okay, I'm Batman. Okay. I have
this.
ideas about how this is going to work out.
I'm sure. Yeah. Zombie U.
Oh, no. I mean,
Hurts.
Heavens no.
Heavens no on Zombie U?
oh, no. Yeah. No, Hubert, don't know.
Good. I just played it recently. It holds up.
Wait, when?
What?
When?
It came out on PS4.
You replayed it?
Yeah.
It was just called Zombie at that
Well,
point, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want full disclosure?
Full disclosure.
Game-breaking bug in the last like 10%.
Yeah, dude.
Couldn't finish.
It's a good idea.
Could not finish?
Couldn't finish the game.
DNF?
It's an
Very end of
an
the
8.0
game.
idea, a
Game-breaking
6.0
bug.
execution.
Okay. You get a 6 for that.
But it's awesome. I love that game.
Knack 2.
Yeah.
Someone. Anyone.
We're going to let Knack 2
Come
be a 6.
on.
I never played it.
We have to.
We,
You weren't
we
here?
did a full playthrough.
I mean, I saw it played. Maybe I played it briefly, but
Ian,
I'm okay with it.
Ian, please.
The game
I'm
is
all
over.
right with it.
Oh, we made it? We're out?
Yep.
What is
Did
Shadows?
I feel okay? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shadows of the Dam may have been last time. This is really funny.
Can I like look at
So,
its
Love and
meta?
Respect German scientist gave this to us. Huber, he left a note in here.
Yeah.
Last time Huber sacrificed Remember Me, thinking Enslaved would be on the list. However, Enslaved averages 80 on PS3, 82 on 360. That's an 8. Enslaved is an 8.
Shadows of the Damned has a 76. Right in the middle.
So it's just nice that it did not land on this list. It was probably last time. Yeah, Love and Respect German Scientist with Thanks to Doug. That was fun.
That was fun.
This is pretty interesting. Yeah, we can do a substantial question here. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Allies, do you remember what phenomenon was taking over the video game news outlets 5 years ago in February of 2014?
No way.
Phenomenon.
Damiani would.
2014, not
He's
a
a
great,
time traveler, man. That guy would know.
not a great year for video games. That was the Hearthstone / Middle Earth Dragon Age
That was the weird year.
Inquisition
That was the weird year.
Yep.
Where everyone
You
hates
still have this
Hearthstone
thing
Goaty, but
against
nobody has their own other than
Inquisition.
Dark
It's
Souls
so
2.
funny. People keep like commenting like, "What is your deal?"
Just 2014 is just there's got to be a low point. You know,
But
every year.
February, beginning of 2014. I mean, that would have been the PlayStation meeting, right?
PlayStation meeting happened in 2013 to
Oh,
announce.
2013. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So 2014, we got
Would
a
have been a
phenomenon.
year
happening.
later.
Yeah, a year later. Phenomenon to me, it means that everybody's talking about this. It means that this is something revolutionary. We haven't seen this before, anything like this.
This has got to be loot boxes or something.
No, I think
Twitch
it's too
plays
early. Oh.
Pokemon.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Twitch Plays Pokemon happened.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think how popular this stream was and how the ridiculous interactivity of the Twitch Plays series expanded and evolved over the next year or so. Even some new video game releases around this time experimented with letting Twitch viewers affect a player's game with chat commands, but now, I'm pretty sure this functionality has been mostly abandoned, even though Twitch popularity has continued to grow over the past 5 years. I bring this up because last night I got into a discussion with my brother when he asked what Mixer was upon seeing it on the Xbox dashboard. When Mixer was announced, I remember it being legitimately excited because in some ways it was superior to Twitch, such as allowing a party to stream their co-op game together so viewers can switch between viewpoints, and not having the 30-second delay that Twitch has for more immediate reactions to chat. I must admit, though, that I've never used Mixer, and it continues to be a punchline because we can't help but laugh at another company awkwardly trying to take on the juggernaut that is Twitch. When a company has borderline 100% market share on a service or product, they tend to not innovate or improve. With Ustream abandoned, And Mixer being the Bing of video game streaming destinations, do you think the days of crazy experiments like Twitch Plays Pokemon are over if Twitch essentially has no competition? There is certainly lots to love and appreciate about Twitch, but are there more improvements you'd like to see? Love and respect, Joe.
I mean, from a user interface perspective, I would like to just put a video in a collection and just be able to bump it up to the top.
Wait, what?
When I archive
as a
videos,
publisher. Not like user
I have
end,
to
but-
like drag a video up like one page at a time every time I add something to a collection.
Oh my god.
Until I get it to the top of the list.
When we must have
The
500
back
pages.
end is not great.
Well, no, I cut off the collections at like 100
Got you.
videos. Yeah.
That's still brutal.
Yeah.
I do think that the delay isn't 30 seconds anymore, but at the time that was a huge thing about Mixer and
Right.
better resolutions they were offering too. Do we think Twitch as the platform will continue to expand and try new?
I
weird
think
things?
Twitch is Twitch as a platform is going to keep expanding, but I think it's going to keep expanding in ways that we don't care about. They're targeting other forms of entertainment outside of gaming and moving into those kinds of things. They're talking about like co-streaming, like concerts and events and
award shows.
Yeah.
They're
So-
neat. Yeah, I really want to see a way to be able to watch something together. I want to do an MCU marathon on Twitch with everyone, all watching
Jones
it
wants
together.
us too. Yeah.
I want it really bad.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
let
I
us
crave it as the days get closer to
like
Endgame.
if a person owns the disc, you should be able to.
No, you
Or
should
something,
not.
I
You
know.
should not.
No,
be
no,
able
no,
to
no,
do
no, no.
that, dude.
No, it's a Twitch plays it. It starts
Yeah.
at a very specific time. They announce
They have some kind
we're
of
going to be playing
copyright.
that whole thing. It's
Yeah.
only going to air once. If you miss it, sorry.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
kind
They
of the
would
way they're
have to
doing
do it.
co-streaming
Yeah.
right now.
Right, and so I think even if it's not in our wheelhouse, I think you'll potentially see publishers seeing what other media companies are doing and be like, ooh, not only is that a great idea, it worked. They already did the test. Let's get on that. So whether Twitch actually puts up the money to do something, I wouldn't be surprised if bigger companies start realizing like let's go partner with Twitch on some way to to expand our catalog.
Yeah.
Well, they've got Twitch sings in the works too. So
Yeah.
they're,
Yeah.
they're trying to do the like we have rights to some songs. You can use them in your streams and you can karaoke them on your streams, which is cool.
I'm sure Twitch has a lot of ideas that they know they want to do, they have plans to do, and they have no idea when they're going to get to it. you know?
Because they're huge right now. They're just
Yeah.
too darn big.
Yeah.
And they just need to focus on, people being able to watch it as quickly as possible. The thing about viewers affecting the game is, I think, something that has dropped off. And I think it's funny that, like, great point, as Twitch was on the rise, as games became more streamable and more popular, that functionality dropped off. I wonder why that is. I kind of think it's not as fun. I think that I don't know if there was ever a fun implementation of that idea, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's hard because chat can just spam a thing.
Yeah.
They can just keep doing the thing over and over until it just doesn't matter anymore. So it's really
Yeah, I
difficult to
think-
figure out how to design that in a way with timers or cooldowns or whatever.
They're just making the game annoying for the person streaming
Yeah. Right.
generally.
Yeah.
I loved when I was playing like Final Fantasy XI, World of Warcraft a lot, Huber. Like my friends and I would talk about just MMO ideas all the time. Like, where's this industry going? We were convinced MMOs are going to be huge. It's going to keep growing and just be the biggest thing ever. And like that didn't happen. But it was anytime somebody would have an idea, we'd all be like, "Oh, that's genre breaking." No, people would abuse that. And we're like, "Yeah, you're right. Never mind." It's just like, oh, it would be so much. We could have so much fun, but there's just going to be that one person.
Give me an
that's gonna
example
be
of
like,
one genre-breaking idea.
Giving people freedom, like one classic Ultima thing, I believe it was Ultima Online. You couldn't walk through other players. Like if you were loaded into someone else's game, you had a physical presence. So people would just stand in doorways of houses and like, I can't get out.
Yeah.
Or like,
that's
or
funny.
they would. I think there was like, if you were in town, you were fine, but if you were like on someone's boat, it was like free reign. And so the new players would go in the game, and people would be like, "Come on my boat, we're going on a voyage." And like, "Oh, cool." And the player would get on the boat, and it's like, I can't play this game anymore. I'm stuck on this boat. And I can't. Or like, they would get on and then sail 50 yards out into the ocean and murder the dude, steal everything from him. And like, yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
It's
friend-
funny. It's like I like a great one is but like I'm kudos to whoever figured this one out. But the old rogue early level vanishing ganking in WoW, where you stealth in an early area and I can't kill you unless you attack me. I go into wolf form and start just kind of walking around like I'm a druid, and I'm just like, oh, I'm an NPC wolf. And so like you early players just, there's another wolf, walks up, hits it, and then it turns into like a level 60 player. They kill that person.
Well, that's just awesome.
Go back. It's hilarious.
Yes.
I'm sure that person that got killed was very frustrated,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a creative way to mess up that game, but you're still messing up the game.
Souls does that.
You're right with the pots.
You can become like
Yeah.
a tree or
Yeah.
a pot
Yeah, or a chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is cool.
But that's as intended. You know, that's
right, yeah.
You got an idea there?
No, just my friend in Dark Age of Camelot would like stand on a bridge and have people pay to cross, or he would just kill him.
Dark Age of Camelot?
Yeah, Dayak.
What?
The early MMOs.
Yeah.
That's an early MMO?
So early.
Does it look like RuneScape? Is it
It had like kind of EverQuest-y
Oh,
look.
okay.
Yeah.
That's man.
I mean, the main way to solve that kind of thing is just physics.
Are the servers
Like
still
if you
up?
could run at a guy and knock him
I
over,
don't think
then
so, no.
you're good.
But like
It
there's
says download and play now.
Dayak?
nice.
Crazy.
Apparently.
We gotta stream it.
Crazy.
Most
Blood,
MMOs don't die.
but Blood, let's say there's a really strong guy blocking a bridge and you're a weak guy. Like you're not gonna get over that bridge. Physics in real life.
Well, that's why World of Warcraft's so cool, because in those days it was like, yo, I'm getting attacked, need reinforcements. You send out the signal flare, and the people come over.
Help
and then,
me, my guild.
Yes, huge wars going down.
Well, a cool implementation back to the Twitch thing is
Yeah,
like
thanks.
an MMO or something like this, but maybe in the Final Fantasy world. But instead of summons, you like summon your followers, your Twitch chat, and then they can help you. But you have to like open that ability, you know. So like you face the guy on the bridge, and then you cast summon Twitch chat, and then they like blast him with fireballs if
That'd
they
be so awesome.
if they type that or
Whatever emoji they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be sick.
Yeah, or if specific people, even if it's randomly given out, have different powers, you know.
Yeah.
Easily the best implementation I've seen is being able to vote on jokes in Jackbox games.
I was gonna say Jackbox.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
It's a competitive joke making game, and then the people in the living room are meant to vote on which punchline is the best. But you can also share that password of your live game with a live audience, and then everybody can vote.
So fun.
And I thought that when Telltale was introducing this idea for Batman, that it would be an entire live audience could make choices, but it would turn out it's just the people in the living room. I think it'd be really fun for live chat to make dialogue options. I think that'd be so fun.
Sure.
And so like they choose the horrible decisions, the horrible things your character is saying. 'Cause-
Also, yeah, last week too, you were talking about Apex with
Yeah.
visual representation based on skill. So like the more I win, the more I'm shown, that my banners are shown. Like in
Yeah.
the game, we were talking about being up on monitors and stuff. It'd be interesting if you could monetarily benefit from this. So if you chose to resub on Twitch while someone was playing, like fireworks will shoot out of their backpack or something, or like
Jones.
your name will come up.
This
in
is
the
dangerous,
game.
Jones. No.
What?
That is a
We're talking about
$1 million
business
idea.
right now.
That is a $1 million idea.
Right. So,
Yes. That is so risky, dude.
So,
Like people will be donating bucks.
right.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's
You actually, Kyle, you just said, I think I misunderstood what you meant, but when you said that they can make dialogue options, it'd be
Yeah.
crazy to have a game where NPCs literally get their dialogue from chat. And like if you had a disciplined chat, you could make a really cool RPG like role play.
Even like a text
Chat.
adventure.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
If I had a disciplined chat.
Yeah. High in the sky,
So
right?
you have no followers.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. It's time for bets. Next week's bet, we have a crazy Friday coming up. Crackdown 3, Far Cry, New Dawn, Jump Force, and Metro Exodus are...
And Resident Evil 2 Ghost Survivors.
No!
Yes.
Also Friday?
Really?
Yes.
This Friday?
Yes.
No!
Free.
No!
Free
No!
of charge.
No!
Free of charge.
Are you gonna be? What are you gonna be doing?
Streaming my first playthrough of it live on Twitch.
Wait, it's
going in
free?
blind.
Yes.
It
Free
is
of charge.
free?
All three chapters, or just the first one?
All of it.
Blood, I
And
need my
the original
disc back.
1998 character models.
That's free too.
Yep.
Come on.
Oh, is that really? Does
man.
everybody get that? I was wondering because I saw pictures of it, but I thought I missed it. Nice.
That is dope.
If you're not familiar with Ghost Survivors,
Sixth playthrough,
that's-
here we go.
That's story DLC for Resident Evil 2.
They've said it's what if
What ifs.
stories,
Yep.
which weirds me out. If it's like filler stuff going on, but
It's
we'll
filler.
see how it plays out.
It
Man,
sounds like it's filler.
It's
yeah.
free though. It's more
Yeah,
reason to
exactly.
play.
Well,
That's-
it's probably what if in the same sense as like the AB is different in this, where it's like
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of like doesn't have any impact, you know?
I think it's pretty. This could be pretty what if. Anyway, among those 4 games, which will be highest on Twitch? I realize we did 2 Twitches in a row. I'm kind of hooked on this. I think it's almost like a more meaningful guess. You know what I mean? Than like where's it going to be on Amazon? And so yeah, we're doing Twitch again. By the way, Resident Evil 2 pretty big on Twitch. Yeah. Bigger than I expected. A lot of speed runs.
So fun to watch.
It's a very speed run fun.
yeah.
A
like,
lot
heavy
can go
hitter.
wrong in that playthrough, so
Yeah.
it's fun to. Yeah.
I was Jones. I saw Resident Evil 2. I'm like, wow, this is doing really well. I clicked on a guy speedrunning, and he was just died. He's like, okay. Sorry, Chad. It was like really awkward to hop into. You know what I mean?
Kyle, say the 4 options again, because Resident Evil is not one of them.
Right. Crackdown 3, Far Cry, New Dawn, Jump Force, Metro Exodus.
Yeah.
4 pretty huge games. That's a pretty momentous Friday. Jones, which will be number 1, and in the case of a tiebreaker, what will its margin of victory be above second place?
Jump Force by 10,000.
Wow.
Daniel Bloodworth.
I should have done Jump
I've
Force.
got Far Cry by 2,000.
Ooh.
Ooh, Michael Huber.
And I've got Crackdown 3 by 3,000.
Okay.
Oh boy.
There's just
Okay.
too much curiosity.
Okay.
People are curious.
I have Jump Force by 18,000.
Ooh.
Ian Hink.
I missed the part about the margin of error, I guess, but I also said Jump Force.
Dang.
By nothing.
Ian,
By 1.
I bet against anime. What the hell am I doing?
Ian, just give me a number. What's the margin of victory? Because if like Jump Force wins, like
That's not fair, because I
Yeah, it's
know
not fair.
your numbers.
How about 1?
Yeah,
it has
I-
to be an
I would
integer.
take
The
the
lowest.
closest to 0 is 1.
that's fair.
Yeah.
So if he's in between 10K and 1,
Yeah.
if it's 499.8, you know.
Ian wins. Yeah. Let me lock those in.
Do you think Crackdown has a chance?
Yes, dude. It was for me between
Because
Jump Force and Crackdown.
I feel like a lot of people aren't going to buy Crackdown 3. They just want to see it on
yeah.
Twitch.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude.
You got Game Pass too, though.
It's on Game Pass, but people want to see multiplayer. They want to see good people playing multiplayer. And so I really
None of us
almost went
picked
Crackdown 3.
Metro.
Or they want to hate watch it.
Yeah.
Metro's very like.
I feel Metro is going to be a
Cult
game that
following.
people want to play
Personal,
rather
like
than
Kingdom Hearts 3,
gameplay.
private.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's personal. Okay, so last week's bet was about Apex Legends and where it would be at this point. It is 4:56 p.m. Pacific time. Jones, you bet that 92,500 people would be watching it
Yeah.
live on Twitch right now. Damiani bet 180,000. Nice. Brad bet 200,000. I bet 101,000. Ian bet 114,000. We were all kind of in the same range here. Ian has brought it up. There are currently... Ian,
Did I see that right?
620,000 is
Yeah.
what this says?
620,000.
Yeah. Yep.
Dang.
Yep, they did it.
Shroud alone has 171,000 viewers. Next up is Twitch Rivals Apex Legends Challenge, which is 82,000.
Oh my.
I mean, Dr. Disrespect's got
Gosh.
55 right now.
Also, like, wait a
Ninja's
minute.
43.
Look at the
Ninja
next
streaming?
2.
Yep. Sorry?
Look at the next 2 games and what numbers they have.
Okay. But I should say that the reason, okay, League of Legends at 108, Fortnite at 97.5. Hey, nothing to, those are still great.
But it's just so much less. I didn't expect the spread to be that far.
It is an incredible spread. Oh, but Twitch Rivals is a thing. This is an event. They got all those guys to sign on to do this. We got hosed, man.
Okay.
It's like it's not. I don't want to. Hey, Apex Legends huge. It is intensely popular. None of those people who are watching are bored right now. But we got hosed by a Twitch event. Twitch
So it's
Rivals
an event.
got us.
So
Yes.
on a normal weekday afternoon, it would be like 200.
Right,
perhaps.
right.
I don't know.
I think Brad would have won regardless. We should say that. But 600,000 is insane.
That's crazy.
it's like
number.
League of Legends tournament numbers, right?
mean,
like it's just.
It's like NBA basketball.
I
Like,
just subtracted the Rivals number out of 620, and it's still 446,000. So
Yeah.
it's still really high.
Yeah, Hubert, NBA
grief.
basketball is fair, man. Some sports we'd be so stoked to get 600,000 people watching. Yeah. It's crazy. And what I think is crazy about it, Twitch Rivals isn't necessarily esports. It's kind of like on the line. We may see like a transition off of esports, off of commentators wearing suits. I don't know. It is truly interesting to me for this kind of thing to be happening. What?
More or less than a year until there's a Titan event in Apex Legends.
Huber, I really think Titans are not happening in Apex Legends.
Ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ever.
I agree.
Yeah. There might
They're
be
not
one
going to
that
have a week event.
maybe one just showing up on the map is like a cool Easter egg, but I don't think people are going to pilot Titanfall Titan in that game.
I'm with Kyle.
Okay.
Bloodworth, weigh in on this one.
Yeah, blood.
I think it'll happen at some point.
Me too.
Ian, we need you to break the tie.
Yeah.
I said long ago that I thought it would eventually happen.
Well, it's happening.
But I mean, like, yeah,
3-2, it's happening.
it might be in some weird way, like you said.
That gorgeous gorilla
Yeah.
bias.
Yeah. Speaking of 3-2, our score is now Scrappy Little Pigs 3 and Gorgeous Gorillas 2. Before I hand off the podcast to Hubert, let me tell you a little bit about Patreon.com/EasyAllies. I said a confusing thing at the top of this podcast about people being able to watch this podcast on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday or Monday. I realize that's a lot of saying things. So here's how that works. If you give $5 or more to our Patreon, you get to get this podcast on Wednesdays. That is 2 days early than it goes public on Fridays. Of course, you don't need to do $5 for $1. You get a ton of stuff. You get exclusive access to exclusive shows. Like that one, this might have been confusing to you too. Jones was mentioning Cup of Jones.
Yeah.
What even is that?
It's a show I do once a week where I talk about business, and I also take personal questions if there's something dying to know about
Our
me.
business,
And
specifically.
this business questions about Easy Allies. This last week talked a lot about the studio, and it's live, so it works through YouTube, so it is exclusive to patrons. It's a unlisted YouTube stream.
Yeah. If you're curious what we do beyond this very podcast, definitely check out patreon.com/easyallies. See everything we do. Ian, do you have a tech update for us this week?
Just that, the sound treatment still on the way. That light that we thought was fixed is not yet fixed. I'm not sure why it keeps going out. They thought they had solved it, so we'll have to look into it some more. And next things on the docket that we're hoping to get are some backlighting for U4. Because I think that'll make you
just
stand
like
out.
around like our hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
halo.
little edge lighting.
Okay.
I mean, these are all things like, we spend a lot of money, and we just have to dole it out slowly,
Weird game trailers memory. When Anton would try to set up backlighting, I was so frustrated because it's like, why? Why are we doing this?
Oh, it's really important. It
it really was.
Way better. Yeah.
But I just want to put a camera up and do stupid jokes. But it is truly important to how good an image looks.
Yeah.
Perfectionist.
I was
Anton,
always
too.
taught, the way I was taught lighting, the classic 3-point lighting is light as though it's going to be black and white, so you properly light everything and then you think about the colors, which is interesting, and we just don't have the resources yet to do it that way in here, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. Michael Huber, you were in Bradley Ellis's seat.
He wins for me every time.
Yeah, he's a good friend.
Yeah.
You have earned, through Brad, the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get to
Michael B. Huber.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's go one by one.
I like to do one by one.
Okay.
This is why I can't speed run, Kyle.
yeah,
I realized the speed running with Damiani. My brain, it's not my skill set.
Do you do the mashed potatoes first, and then the peas, and then the chicken?
I
or
eat one thing at a time.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the piece. You can promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote.
Some
Buddy.
spoiler modes.
No.
Spoiler modes. If you are an Easy Allies patron for
$1.
$1 or more, you can check out the spoiler modes we just did. We did a Resident Evil 2 one, and a couple hours ago we did a Kingdom Hearts 3 one.
Yeah.
So
It was honestly
before that-
very fun.
really good energy. Before that, it was Life is Strange 2, Episode 2 with Elise Willems. Those were all of those are really great. So just you can get all that for $1.
Wait, how much do I have to pay?
$1.
Oh, okay.
100 cents.
Cool. You now get the 100 cents. Final word on anything you want to disagree with, reiterate, just popped into your head. Final word, all yours right now.
Dying Light is an 8.
No. Oh, yes. Sorry. Excuse me. That counts. Everyone, that's canon. You can use the final word to undo an 8. So if a Dying Light is now an 8 and not a 6, excuse me for my first reaction.
We had a
saying
couple
no.
left over between us.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
that's fun of the game too. It's like I don't want you to know exactly when it's going to end. And now you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
We are easy allies. Got it memorized.
They have like this set number of times that they have to keep sneezing.